What up, what up? It's me. Yes, I'm recording in my car because college has taught me two things. It's that naps are crucial and that recording in your car is perfection because you don't get all of the crazy worldly sounds. Okay, so let's get started. I just wanted to share a little something with you that I learned this morning that really hit home with me because I'm going through a season right now where, I'm kind of confused with what God is wanting for my life and what he is doing in my life right now. And sometimes we don't get to know what God is doing. We just have to sit back and just let him do his thing. But the good thing is that God will always be there to catch us and be there for us to build us back up whenever we do fall. So I am reading Steadfast Love Bible Study by Lauren Chandler. It looks like this, and I got it at Lifeway. It's really good. Get it, girl or boy, whatever. She starts off in Exodus, and she goes with Exodus 1, Exodus 2, Exodus 3, and Exodus 7. And I have like her notes right here, and then I have my own notes right here that I'll be going off of. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm doing. Anyways, let's get started. Israelites were very fruitful, and they increased in numbers very rapidly. And the new king that came into power feared the Israelites and their numbers, in case a war broke out or whatever. And so he had them enslaved. He put slave masters over them and worked them ruthlessly. And so, later on, many years passed, and that king died. And so whenever that king died, the Israelites cried out to God, and they were like, "Where are you? Like, save us, God." And God heard them groaning, and he heard them crying out, and he became concerned with them, and he remembered his covenant with Abraham. And in Exodus 3, it says God appeared. This is kind of like just like a little snippet, but God appeared to Moses in a burning bush and told him to go to bring the Israelites out of Egypt because God was very concerned and very worried about them. And so God sent Aaron and Moses to speak to the Pharaoh, who is the new reigning king, and God planned to lay his hand over Egypt and save the Israelites. Well, God for sure put his hand over Egypt because, listen to this, so God set a plague over Egypt to protect the Israelites. Egyptians were supposed to kill a blemish-free lamb, and have its blood painted on the doorposts of their home, its flesh roasted and eaten by the household. Happy Thanksgiving. Yum. And so the Lord would pass through the land at night, striking the firstborn of men, but pass over any home that had painted blood on their doorposts. So the Egyptians kind of, became afraid, I guess, of having their firstborn killed by God. And so they sent the Israelites out of their land because they had just had enough. And Pharaoh then, shortly after, changed his mind because the Israelites were providing free labor because they were enslaved. And so now all the labor that all the Israelites were doing was now going to have to be done by Egyptians, and they weren't going to enslave their own people. And so they would have to pay these people, and so that would hurt Egypt's economy. And so, so then Pharaoh and his men went out to go capture the Israelites back because they needed to re-enslave them because free labor. Yeah. Meanwhile, the Lord led the Israelites the long way through the desert towards the Red Sea. So they found out that the Egyptian army was after them. The Israelites then, they were walking, they were like, "God saved us, woo!" Well, they were so excited, but then they encountered the Red Sea. And I've heard the story so many times, but the way that she, made you think of it in this Bible study was like, wow. So the Israelites encountered the Red Sea, And they cried out to the Lord and Moses. And Moses was the one that was leading them. And said things like, why did you bring us out here to die? Why didn't you just leave us in Egypt to be slaves? They quickly went from, Lord, deliver us from our lives of oppression, to let us go back to our lives of slavery, which was so sad. That really proved that they had distrust in the Lord. At this point, the Israelites began to seek the known rather than put their faith in God's will. And that is something that was like, wow. Like, wow. God puts us through these tests, and He puts us through hurt and heartbreak to build us up. And a lot of the times, you know, we're like, God, why am I in this season? Why am I hurting? Why did you put me through this pain? Put me back in that situation where I was like somewhat hurting, where I knew what I was going to be hurting for, rather than put me in this season of unknown and I don't know what is going to happen next. Well, then the Lord came through with His promise, and He parted the Red Sea and allowed the Israelites to walk through. So once every Israelite stepped out of the dry seabed, God folded the waters back over Pharaoh and the Egyptians, who were in pursuit of capturing the Israelites again. Deuteronomy 8:5, it says, know in your heart that as a man disciples his son, so the Lord disciples you. I just said that so wrong. I mean, a man does disciple his son, but okay, back to what I was saying. Know in your heart that as a man disciplines his son, so the Lord disciplines you. God truly loves you. He loves every single one of us. And He desires a relationship with you. He's not just some genie in a bottle, like Lauren Chandler said. Just because you obey God, it does not grant you immunity to seasons of pain and hurt. Those seasons are meant to discipline you, to shape you, to build you. And I just wanted to leave you with that today. I wanted to leave you with that encouragement, because I personally needed that. I'm going through a season right now where you know, I was like questioning, like, why am I going through this? Why am I hurting? And but it's because God is disciplining me, and He is shaping me, and He is building me to be the woman of God that I am meant to be, that I'm supposed to be. And it's building my testimony. If you have any questions, if you want to talk to me, like, please, like, message me, DM me, like, text me, like, I mean, I may know you, I may not, like, I don't care. Like, I am open to talking to anybody, and if you need to talk to someone, please talk to me, please DM me, please text me, please call me. Like, I am willing to talk this out with you, and who knows, I might need to talk something out with you. So just reach out to me, and I hope that you got something out of this as much as I did. Anyways, have a great day!